Hi and welcome to my wee channel, The Wandering Kilt, and a hearty Scottish welcome to first time viewers. So where are we today? Jedburgh, possibly the nicest of all the border towns. Did I really say that? In fact, I don't have a favourite, I like them all. So what is Jedburgh all about? Is it just an abbey, a jail and a house? As with most places in Scotland, its recorded history can be traced back to something of religious significance. And so it was, with a church being founded here in the 9th century by the Bishop of Lindisfarne. It was later given a royal upgrade by King David I of Scotland, becoming a priory around 1118 and housing Augustinian monks. They wore black robes and were a mendicant order. That is, they get no money from the church and are really dependent on donations to survive. They came from Beauvais in France, which has a very large cathedral. 1147 saw yet another upgrade, with Jedburgh becoming an abbey. The King of Scotland in 1165 was young Malcolm IV. Sadly, he would die here aged only 24. There was a royal residence in Jedburgh, a castle no less, which was built by King David I in 1258. Well, when I say he built it, I mean he paid for its construction. I'm not sure how handy it was at DIY, but building castles is not a job for amateurs. Although it was demolished in 1409. Alexander III of Scotland married Yolande in Jedburgh Abbey in 1285. Sadly, less than a year later, he fell off his horse near Kinghorn in Fife. An accident? Possibly. Murder? Well, we'll never know. So we now have a town with an abbey, which back then gave Jedburgh kudos and made it a place to travel to. It hosted cattle and horse trading, a corn and butcher's market, and was a pop-up job centre for farm labourers looking for employment. Being so close to England wasn't without danger, and so it was that an English army set fire to Jedburgh in September 1523. That was not the end of it though. Henry VIII, the guy that liked wedding cake, well, he engaged in conflict with Scotland, which was known as the Rough Wooing. So plans were drafted between the Scots and the French to fortify Jedburgh. Mary Queen of Scots stayed here in a house known, not surprisingly, as Mary Queen of Scots' house. Thankfully she stayed there, as it could have been awkward had she stayed somewhere else. It has been restored and is a really good museum. It gives you an idea of life back then. The Bonnie Prince, Charlie himself, passed through here, but not finding a house named after him, he moved on swiftly to somewhere else. So what about Jeddart Justice? Well, that came about when a gang of rogues, proper wrong-uns they were too, were hanged first, then tried later, which is an interesting proposition. So from being a major player in Scottish history, it kind of moved on from there and left Jedburgh behind. Jedburgh wasn't such a big player in the Industrial Revolution compared to other places. It did join the rail network in 1856, but that was not such a bad thing because Jedburgh now is relatively untouched and a nice place to visit. Sadly, I didn't have time to film the prison, and I wish I had, as it looks fab, but I will see it next time, I'm sure. Jedburgh is a place that can't escape its past. The abbey dominates the town, but it does have a lovely town centre as well, and Mary's house. Look, just go and see it for yourself. Catherine the Great, a fabulous guide at Jedburgh Abbey, is both friendly and knowledgeable. I did say I would give her a mention, so. There has been a fair few famous people from Jedburgh. James Thomson wrote the lyrics to Rule Britannia. He was born close to Jedburgh. Think of the royalties on that song. Next we have David Brewster, a very clever man best known for inventing the kaleidoscope. He was born here in 1781, and who doesn't like a kaleidoscope when you're a kid? I always enjoyed Tea Time Tales on STV, I think it was, and that was back in the 1970s, presented by Lavinia Dermont. She was born here in 1909. Can we mention a borders town without mentioning the R word? Rugby. Roy and Gregor Laidlaw, both local lads, played for Scotland, and there is a strong rivalry between the other teams in the area, which I won't mention. I've talked too much, so let's just get on with the video. So that's Jedburgh, such a nice place, especially when the sun shines. Going to the Abbey, it does cost you, but it's well worth it. The Castle Prison and Mary's House are free, but a donation would be helpful if you could. And just relax and soak up the history of the place. Even better, the large car park is free too. Thanks for watching. Hope you liked this one, and while I'm at it, a big hi to all my friends in the US, Canada, Australia and France. If you want a mention for your country, feel free to comment below. Cheers. As I look at the big clock on the wall, I see that once again time is beating us, so until next time, bye.